We never would have expected that we would be responding to a sleepy farm in Epping for the kinds of things that had happened there.
Officer Wallace asked you where he was, and you said he's in that bag.
Investigators say the complexity of this case stood out from the beginning, and the suspect was unlike other suspects.
Yeah, well, he's 24 years old as a kid to me. 25. You killed that kid. 24, 25, 26. You killed him.
I did not.
You put him in the pit.
This is the first time I found out that he's dead.
That's a lie, and you know it.
You remember Tony, don't you? Who the hell is this Tony? And if there is a Tony, why the hell did you let him bother me, touch me, molest me? You psychologically damaged me in more ways than I can even imagine.
On February 24th, 2006, the Epping Police Department received a frantic call from Carolyn Lodge, who reported her son, Kenneth Michael Countie, missing. Little did he know that his wellness check would unveil that he was being captured by a sociopath who turned a once fairy tale ranch into a BDSM house of horrors. When Carolyn Lodge called to report her son missing, she made it clear that her 24-year-old son was quote-unquote mentally deficient and had the IQ level of a 12-year-old.
Does he have any disabilities at all?
Yes, he is. He was put through a neuropsychological testing when he was a child, and it stated on the neuropsychological testing that he's mildly retarded.
Okay.
Throughout his early days, his deficiency was the reason that he struggled with basic paperwork or simple tasks. But even so, he planned to move out of his childhood home in January of 2006 and become independent, which he did.
When is the last time that you saw Kenneth?
The last time I saw Kenneth was around February, I think it was 13th or 14th of this year.
And where did you see him?
I saw him at work.
And where was that?
He works at Shield's Systems in Billerica. It's an auto wash.
At the car wash, he was described as a, quote, simple, dedicated worker. However, his mental deficiency made him struggle with rather basic tasks and paperwork. That's why, when his roommate told Kenneth's mother that he was missing, it was necessary to find him, as he wouldn't cope on his own. But it turned out that Kenneth wasn't alone. The reason why Carolyn made the missing person call to the police department of Epping and not Wilmington is that his roommate claimed that Kenneth had fallen for a woman from Epping, New Hampshire, who he met on a site called Telemates, a telephone dating service. On this site, callers would create voicemails describing themselves, and strangers could leave messages for the singles they liked. And for some reason, Kenneth felt drawn to this. Yikes. Somehow, Kenneth fell in love with this woman, and after the two exchanged numbers, they spent their first night together in the Ashworth Hotel in Hampton. That means that she came all the way from Epping to meet with him. Now, normally, Kenneth called his mother every single day, but the last time she heard from him was the first time that she heard from his new girlfriend, who clearly didn't give a good first impression.
She yelled, "Give me the phone," and he said no, and she grabbed the phone, and she got on the phone, and she said, "Leave us the fuck alone, we're fucking happy together, who the fuck do you think you are?" And I said, whoa, I said, "Do you know who you're talking to? You're talking to his mom." She hung up.
Who is she?
I found out her name was Sheila LaBarre.
And once Sergeant Gallagher got the name, Sheila LaBarre, he knew that Countie could be in trouble, as he knew exactly what type of person she was. Before Sheila took the surname LaBarre, she was Sheila K. Bailey, born and raised in Alabama. Growing up in a Baptist family as the youngest, she had some serious issues with her father. He was an alcoholic who would physically abuse his own flesh and blood, and the family had no choice but to flee until he sobered up. Despite a difficult childhood, she graduated from Fort Payne High School, aspiring to become a country musician or model. She used her looks to compete in beauty contests, aiming to secure a rich and attractive partner. She was known for wearing very feminine and intriguing perfumes, making it hard for Sheila to go unnoticed. Personally, I lean towards oud and musky scents, preferring those with depth and subtlety. Well, thanks to today's video sponsor, Scentbird, I found my favorite perfume ever, Arabian Tonka by Montel. Scentbird is a monthly subscription service that delivers a new perfume to your doorstep each month. The vials are cheaper than many rollerballs or travel sizes in stores. Scentbird is perfect for fragrance newbies, allowing you to switch up your scent every month and avoid the commitment and high cost of full-size bottles, which can range from $80 to $300. With over 700 fragrances available, you'll always find something new to try. Scentbird offers a wide range of options, including popular brands like Gucci and Burberry, as well as niche labels like Boho Boco and, my favorite, Montel. Each fragrance comes with a 30-day supply, so you can really get a feel for it. If you're interested in trying Scentbird, use my code, VILLAINS, or the link below to get 55% off your first month. You can get it for only $8. Okay, back to the video. Her first marriage to John Baxter, a single father, lasted only 6 weeks, which is ironic because they only dated for a month before getting married in 1981. But based on how she treated his daughter, Wendy, Baxter had no choice but to end it. Wendy claimed that when John was at his job as a utility lineman, Sheila would give her brandy and then would keep her locked up in a room the size of a closet just to keep her out of the way. With no finances to keep her afloat, she took a job at a fast food joint, which is where she met her second husband, Ronnie Jennings. Her second marriage seemed more lasting than the previous one, but behind closed doors, she would take her frustrations out on him, both physically and mentally. Ronnie decides that he doesn't want to be in a relationship with her, which totally breaks Sheila's heart. She decides to take a handful of pills and drives herself into a tree. Sheila is transported to the nearest hospital and then stays in a coma for days. Luckily, she recovered, but according to her, she was resurrected as an angel. She claimed to have been sent back as God's avenging angel. But deep down, Sheila only wanted one thing: a new man. A man that she could control and exploit. Both these needs were fulfilled after she met Dr. Wilfred Bill LaBarre. Dr. LaBarre was a successful chiropractor in Epping. He was the owner of the largest piece of land in Epping, a 115-acre farmhouse. But he was in search of love after his second wife, Edwina, died of cancer. He fell into depression, grieving over the loss of his beloved. But in 1987, he put out a personal ad hoping to regain that feeling of love. And while there were many responses from women wanting to be Mrs. LaBarre, Sheila's response stood out from the rest. Okay, maybe the response isn't that intriguing to read, but it was the topless photo attached which jump-started the relationship. And even though she never quote-unquote legally married him, she wanted everyone around Epping to know her as Mrs. LaBarre. The couple lived happily together on paper until his death at age 74 in 2000. After his death, Sheila LaBarre inherited his farm, which was now the place where Kenneth County possibly was.
Hello, my name is Sheila LaBarre. I'm a justice of the peace and a notary in the state of New Hampshire. My phone number is, the reason I'm calling the office of the chief of police in Tewksbury, Massachusetts is because last night I talked with a man by the name of Kenneth, Countie, C-O-U-N-T-I-E, Tewksbury, Mass, according to his son, who is with me. His son is also named Kenneth, and his middle name is Michael Countie. His son's date of birth is, he's 24 years old. And we made the call together from a friend's house and talked briefly with Mr. Countie. Mr. Countie was screaming and yelling at me. I've never met the man, don't want to meet the man, but he made a comment to me that I consider to be a threat in guise. He also made it to his son, end quote. His son is with me in this room. I'm going to put this on speakerphone. State your name.
My name is Kenneth M. Countie.
Your date of birth? Did you and I talk briefly with your father last night?
Yes.
Did he scream at both of us?
Yes.
Did he make that comment, this is not the end of this? Did your father very angrily say, this is not the end of this?
Yes.
Are you afraid of your father?
Yes.
Do you want any contact with this man?
No.
Do you want any contact with your mother, Carolyn Lodge, who lives in Billerica, Mass?
No.
Did Carolyn Lodge make a false missing person report on you with the Wilmington Police Department?
Yes.
Are you missing?
No.
Are you living with me by choice?
Yes.
Are you happy?
Yes.
Are you safe?
Yes.
I'm leaving that message. My phone number is 60. The point to this message is neither one of us, me, Sheila LaBarre, or the man who you just heard talking, Kenneth Michael Countie, the son of Kenneth Countie, we want no contact with that man or that woman, Carolyn Lodge, of any nature, of any kind.
At the same time, Carolyn Lodge can't go to the police for help because they've already cleared Kenneth on the wellness check. And the fact that Sheila has put the word out, even at the police department, of just how much they want to get away from her.
Sworn statement was sent to your department. It was also sent to Wilmington as well as to the Epping Police Department.
Okay.
This individual that made that sworn statement is with me now at my office, which is at my home, and wants no contact of any kind with a woman by the name of Carolyn Lodge, who is his mother. And he needs his IRS check.
Okay.
Rather than, I've told him, and his father told him years ago, too, not to go anywhere near the house again. Now that his stepfather by the name of, just a minute, what's his name? Gerald Lodge. Gerald. Gerald Lodge is a man from England. And this claimant, Kenneth Countie, has not made police reports, but this man, according to him, is he violent?
Yes, he is.
Has he stabbed you?
Yes, he has stabbed me.
Okay.
Not only was she bad-mouthing his family, but that Kenneth was also right next to her, listening, and further, fact-checking those allegations. In other words, Sheila had full control over him. Unfortunately, the police couldn't do anything related to Sheila and Kenneth unless they had concrete proof of overpowering. And that proof came on March 17, 2006. Detective Richard Coate and Sergeant Gallagher were dispatched to the Epping Walmart for a report of 2 unwanted people. The manager claimed that the 2 were being disruptive in the store and she wished to have them removed. Well, it turned out that those 2 were Sheila and Kenneth. What makes this visit so interesting is that Sheila is pushing Kenneth in a wheelchair. Here you can see Kenneth holding 3 yellow gas cans and did not appear to be moving much. The reason why the police were called on them is because Sheila claimed that some woman tried to touch Kenneth. He never said anything regarding that, but Sheila caused a scene there which compelled the officers to escort them out of the store. But here's where it gets interesting. When the sergeant made contact with Kenneth, he noticed that Kenneth's skin was very ashen. He had cuts on both his hands and his face. His hands were extremely swollen, and he did not appear to have normal use of them. He also seemed skinnier than the last time they saw him. Before Sean and Richard could get a question out, Sheila appeared and loomed behind him. She told the sergeant and the detective that he was fine, that his wounds were just the result of a car accident, nothing to worry about. When Richard began speaking to Kenneth, she abruptly cut him off and told Kenneth not to talk to the officer. Knowing that he has a wellness check coming up soon, and knowing how Carolyn has been constantly worried about her son, the 2 detectives didn't think twice about Kenneth's condition. They just escorted the 2 off the property, and that's it. After that, they attempted to contact Sheila LaBarre by telephone on March 23rd, but she didn't respond. On March 24th, at around 1 a.m., Sheila called Sergeant Gallagher. When she told him about his attempt to locate Kenneth, she said, and I quote, "Countie was a P-word and had R-worded several children in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts." After he inquired about his confession, she played him a tape over the call in which he confessed to such allegations.
This tape recording is being made in my living room in Epping, New Hampshire. Present with me is Kenneth Michael Countie. Has Carolyn Lodge ever sexually molested you as a child?
Yes.
Go into your memory and give me the approximate age that you can first recall the sexual molestation by your mother, Carolyn Lodge, being performed on you.
4 years old.
Could it also be possibly younger than that?
Yes.
When you were 4 years old, does Carolyn Lodge drink alcohol?
Yes.
Does she drink beer?
Yes.
Does she drink champagne?
Yes.
Does she drink hard liquor?
Yes.
Does she babysit a child who is a female and who is supposed to be, or actually is, the daughter of your half-brother Brian Lodge?
Yes.
State the approximate age of this child. So would this not mean that if your half-brother is Lisa's father, that he would have to have impregnated Lisa's mother at the age of approximately 14?
Yes.
Have you ever seen Lisa's mother?
No.
The reason why Sheila made these tapes was so that she can build some type of case against Kenneth, that she knew about his family's dark secrets. By portraying him and his family like this, she hoped to discredit any lawsuit, any action they would take. That day, at around 6 p.m., they went over to visit Sheila, and initially she let the officers in to ask questions. But once she realized that the questions were about Kenneth, she told them to leave immediately. And without a search warrant, the detectives could never get inside the house for anything concrete. But what they saw outside the house was probable cause to get one. Outside the house, they found remains of a burnt mattress on her front lawn. That mattress was devastated by fire, leaving behind only the metal frame, the springs, and a small portion of the cloth. As they walked up to the front of the residence, there was a second burnt pile in which there appeared to be a knife handle attached to a metal blade. In this little visit, there were two key points which compelled them to urgently get a search warrant. First off, when the detectives were inside the house initially, they found Kenneth's old sneakers. They asked Sheila why he didn't take these shoes, to which she said that he had a second pair which she got him from Walmart. You can tell the surprise on the sergeant's face when he found that second pair also inside the house. Kenneth was mentally unwell, but he wasn't bad enough to leave without shoes. The second, and perhaps the biggest part of this case, something that Sergeant Gallagher swore to in every statement that he gave, was that in the burnt pile, he noticed a bone, which appeared to be attached to some meaty tissue. When he inquired about the fire, Sheila claimed that she was burning trash. When they asked why she burnt the mattress, she claimed that it was because she, quote-unquote, slept with a P word on it. But the really shocking response came when they inquired about the bone. She responded, and once again, this statement hasn't changed in any testimony. She said that, quote, it was a rabbit, or P word, or something. When he immediately inquired about why she would say it's a P word, she didn't reply. After all these facts were quoted to a judge, they got a search warrant, but only for the outside of the residence. On the 25th of March 2006, as the detectives searched the outside of her residence, Sheila came in to give an interview to Trooper Jill Rocky and Richard Mitchell of the state police. The goal of this interrogation was to determine the nature of the tape she shared with Sergeant Gallagher, the burn piles, and then especially her comment on the bones.
Okay, and you're being recorded right now?
Correct.
Okay, do you
It's
mind?
two-party consent to tape stay, I understand.
Okay, do you mind if we record it?
No, I don't mind at all.
Okay. And Sheila, we're here. You had mentioned Adam earlier before we go on a tape. Who's Adam? Is he a tenant of yours? Or?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Adam is Kenneth Michael Countie, but he wanted to change his name.
Okay.
Now, I didn't do that. It used to cost $50. I don't know what it costs now, but I wasn't going to give him my last name, LaBarre. He wanted to be with me. He was running from death, running from a situation down there, which includes pedophilia.
Okay.
He's confessed this to me, that he has raped numerous children. And he was running from death. But he didn't start in with this. Or obviously, I wouldn't have let him stay in my home.
Oh, yeah.
So the lines recorded or not, but I have the tape somewhere. I'm just not sure where it is because I'm just very confused right now. I'm upset.
Oh yeah, I can understand you being upset. So when did you first meet him?
On February the 14th of 6 at the Ashworth. But first, originally, he hit me up with messages on a chat line, not a computer. I'm Teutonic. I don't own a computer. Meaning I'm a minimalist.
Yep. So you met him on a chat line and then you met him at the Ashworth?
He instant messaged me.
Okay.
I'd never heard him on the line before.
Okay.
I thought that was odd.
Yeah.
Because I've talked on the line for years.
Okay.
It's just harmless.
Okay. So you met, did you arrange to meet him at the Ashworth or did you just happen to meet him?
He pleaded with me.
Okay.
When I actually didn't return his first message, but I don't think I saved. A telemate saves the messages for so long and then they don't.
Okay. So you meet him at the Ashworth. What happened at the Ashworth?
Well, he was on the table. I said, meet me in the lounge at the Ashworth because I know the Grand Masons, the owners. Yep. I mean, we don't hang out. We're probably in Florida right now. But I said, something tells me not to meet you because I've already cut my foot. In fact, I was scored from I stepped on a piece of metal in my house. Everything was going wrong, but I met him.
Okay. And how did it go when you met him?
Well, my first thought was, when I looked at him, was pedophile. But I thought, well, Sheila, I don't talk to myself like that. But I was thinking, I'm 47. You know, he's legal age. He wants to chase me, so okay. You know, we'll talk. So he was at a table, and I looked like that and looked at me and I said, are you Kenneth? And even I don't like to call him that because my brother Kenneth passed away September 29th in Alabama.
I'm sorry.
I know. He was born with one kidney. My other brother Richard was born with one kidney, and they think I'm the female that has one kidney because there's 3 sisters, 3 brothers, 2 brothers dead now, 3 sisters living. I'm inclusive.
So when you meet him, what happened that night? Did you keep dating him, or did
I wouldn't let him inside my house?
Okay.
But he was very curious about where I lived.
Notice how she's playing the victim card, claiming that the first time she laid eyes on him, she thought he was a P word. Throughout this interview, you're going to hear Sheila completely discredit and tarnish the reputation of a 24-year-old mentally challenged man who, according to his family, only thought of others and wanted to keep everyone happy. By the way, if you're finding the video interesting, make sure to hit that subscribe button. It really supports the channel. Now, let's dive right back in.
I just thought of something I haven't told anyone.
Okay.
If I did, I told it to Chief DeLoge.
He's a good guy.
What did you think of?
Adam told me that he changed his name. Wallace said that's typical of pedophiles. I didn't know that. I mean, we didn't legally change it. He told me that.
He told you that he changed his name?
No. I'm sorry. I just remembered something.
Do they have to do with Adam? Can you tell us what they are?
He told me that he had been planning to rob me. And that he had, because I noticed somebody had been in my purse. And I said, Adam, are you going in the purse while I'm asleep? He said, yes.
But how did it come that Adam ended up at your house?
The first time?
Yeah.
Well, he didn't spend the night or come inside the first time.
Oh, wait. Did you note that instant tone change? Let's go back and see that again.
And I said, Adam, are you going in the purse while I'm asleep? He said, yes.
But how did it come that Adam ended up at your house?
The first time?
Yeah.
Well, he didn't spend the night or come inside the first time.
That is too much of an obvious giveaway that she's ready to pour out some heavy crocodile tears just to win over the detectives. Thankfully, they have been trained to see beyond these acts, but they're not going to call her out on it. Not unless they have something concrete against her.
Let me ask this, Sheila.
Yes, sir.
I was told that recently Adam ended up in some sort of a wheelchair.
Oh, okay.
Tell me about that.
Okay, all that was I said, do you want me to push you in the chair this time? And he said, yeah, I've always wanted to be pushed in a wheelchair. But he's a heroin addict. He's a crack addict, and I didn't know that.
Adam is.
Yes, he told me this, and he
Where
claims
did the wheelchair come from?
Walmart. It's a Walmart chair.
Oh, it's a
right
Walmart chair. Oh, okay.
there. Yeah.
Okay. And this was down at the Epping Walmart?
Right.
Did he have any injuries on him?
Yes, he did, because of the pot that exploded from Walmart, a glass pot. I don't remember what date that was because I have a background in surgery. Not as a surgeon.
But the pot exploded at the house?
That is correct. But we picked up the glass because of my rabbits. They jumped through, and my house is a barn. It's just the way I am.
And
that's true, and that's what's we didn't make.
So you were pushing him around in the wheelchair at Walmart.
But he didn't have to be in the wheelchair.
It was just for fun.
Correct.
Did he
not to make a deal with Walmart about that. We didn't. I swear to God, we did.
But it was just for fun between you and Adam.
Right.
That's fun. Right.
That's right.
That's not how the sergeant and detective recalled the Walmart incident. In fact, one thing that they also wrote about in their statements was that they kept an eye on Sheila as she wheeled Kenneth to her car, after which he didn't get up. She carried him to the passenger seat and then went on to drive. Also, considering what she knew what he was from day one, why would she be, quote-unquote, having fun with someone who is a man of all evil to her?
I want to go back to when you were going to try to help Adam.
All right.
How did you go about trying to help him?
Well, I helped him financially. Financially, I didn't give him money.
No. I'm not talking financially. When you were going to try to help him get past this pedophilia issue, how did you try to help him?
All right. I hired a polygraph expert, paid $700 cash.
Recently?
Correct. In fact, it may be in the mail. I haven't seen it, but he already told me that he passed. Basically, the test entails Kenneth Michael Countie having sexual intercourse with someone who he calls mother. I've heard her voice one time, and she is not British. Apparently, she's been coming into this PD. I can't speak for the PD, but trust me. He said that was his mother. She is not from England. Now, the stepfather, I've never met any of these people. The woman parades around naked. A sworn statement that I took from him was faxed to Epping PD, Billerica, and Wellington.
I'm getting a little confused. I'm just going to ask you to, no. I'm going to slow you down though. We were just talking about him taking the polygraph test. And you said that you set that up and paid for it. Who did the polygraph test?
George Tetra.
And when was that done?
St. Patrick's Day.
Okay, of this year.
Correct.
And where was that done?
At my farm.
Okay.
Which the house was better than it does now.
And so George Tetra came in and gave Adam a polygraph test.
Correct.
Okay. And what was the question he asked him?
Well, his notes are at the house.
Okay. But he asked him, and when you said he passed, does that mean that Adam said, I molested kids and
that
he passed? How did he pass? What do you mean by that?
He passed. Those questions were not asked.
Okay.
That's one way I protected him, because I wasn't sure if he seriously was doing it or had done it.
What question was asked?
One of the questions, to the best of my knowledge, was about he and his mother, Carolyn Lodge, having sex. And he passed that. And he passed the part that it's been occurring since I don't know if Georgia, because I wasn't allowed there. But it's tape recorded legally. I got consent first, but I'm not sure where the tape is. It's in one of those suitcases I have out front.
So he admitted to having sex with his mother when he was a child, or her having sex with him.
As he said, as far back as he can remember.
Did he admit to having sex with any children now that he's an adult?
Not in front of George Tetra, no.
Did he admit that to you, though? You said earlier?
That is correct.
Okay. Did George ask him that question?
No, he didn't.
Okay. Do you believe that Adams had sex with children?
I don't know.
Okay.
I know that, but the way he looks.
But you had said earlier, I thought you insinuated that you might believe that he may have had sex with children.
Well, yes.
And it disturbed you how he looked at children.
Yes.
Did you think that was a problem?
he said his mother says he has a staring problem.
Okay.
I said, there isn't any such thing as a staring problem.
Did you think he was a danger to children?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And so when you were trying to help him get over that, what you said that you burned the videotapes. What else?
Oh, I didn't burn anything about children. I would never do that.
Okay.
I never had anything in my possession about children.
How did you help you? But you were trying to help. Okay, the homosexual thing. But I thought earlier you said
I burned 2 of mine because I told him, I said, these are old.
I have a problem, like, because you're new, I don't know you very well, and I'm trying to focus on one thing at a time, otherwise I get confused.
I understand being tangential.
Yeah, so
I don't mean to.
No, I know you don't. So I'm gonna.
It's the cat scan, and the guy put me back in the machine.
Okay, so when you're talking about helping Adam, though, you had said earlier, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought you were trying to help him get over the pedophilia. Remember when he said, "Help me," and you said, you were helping him. Mm-hmm. How, other than the burning of the homosexual tapes, what else did you do to help him?
I talked to him about God.
Okay. And you had said earlier that God,
he was an atheist.
And God,
and then he wanted to be a Christian.
Okay. And you said that God, has a master plan. What was his master plan for Adam?
Oh no, I never said to him that God has a master plan.
No, but you said to us that God has a master plan.
No, I didn't. If you listen to the tape, you'll hear me refer to God as the master.
Okay. Well, so the master, do you believe God has a master plan?
No.
Okay. Well,
I'm a Southern Baptist, and we call God the master.
Okay.
Right. But Jesus can be called numerous names. That's not the side of my refrigerator.
Okay. How are you helping Adam?
Well, I talked to him about God. Mm-hmm. I said, I think you're an atheist. I said, how can you doubt God's existence? And I said, and God says, suffer all those children to come unto me. It was a new lesson. It means that you need to stop looking at them and stop getting excited.
On top of being this and a narcotics consumer, he's now an atheist. It's pretty clear that she's portraying him as the biggest and worst scum of the earth. And as the detectives steer the conversation towards the burnt pile and the bone fragments, she brings up another bad thing to say about him.
Sheila, let me ask you this.
That's another reason.
If we have some concerns, obviously, about Adam and that he potentially could hurt children. So it's important we find him. Where do you think we could look for Adam and find him?
I don't know, because the last time, meaning it was either after or before I called Sergeant Gallagher and played the tape. And he said, Sheila, I've never heard you like this. I never heard you like this. I don't remember if he was, seems like he was there, but I'm not sure. Because I have what I call cat skin fever from too much radiation. And my neurons are flexing. It's not drugs or medication or anything.
Yeah.
It's just, I actually was over-radiated.
But seriously, Sheila, I believe you, but this is really important. We need to find out where Adam is, just so we know the children are safe.
I don't know.
Okay.
Because I've been sifting through bone fragments.
Why have you been sifting through bone fragments?
Because I want to know what has been put in my yard.
What do you think's been put in your yard?
I don't know. I mean, without a conclusive test. But I found a tooth.
Okay, so is that possible that that's Adam's tooth? Okay.
No. I don't know.
What else did you find in your yard?
You mean sifting?
Yeah, you said you found bone fragments.
Right, but I don't remember where I put them. I cremated a rabbit that I thought maybe he had killed, but he denied. But I was iffy on that. I still am not sure that he did. I don't know. Because the reason being, coyotes, it goes with the coyote. You don't see it again. Fisher cats, they eviscerate and they take it with them. So, but a human will leave it. He'll leave it.
So somebody left a dead rabbit?
One in mine, correct. And he watched it cremated in the general area where now I'm finding the bone.
Okay, so who watched you cremate it?
He did.
Adam?
Mm-hmm.
And when did you find this dead rabbit?
I don't remember. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I don't remember.
But he watched you cremate it?
Yes.
Okay. So today is Saturday. Was it within the last week that you cremated the rabbit?
I don't remember for sure. I really don't. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
It's not really, I don't remember because I don't sleep upstairs. I was sleeping downstairs, and I only burned the mattress because it just grossed me out, because now I have to go get an AIDS test because he said he thought he had AIDS, and he had blood coming out of his manhood.
He had blood coming out of his manhood?
He got real sick. It wasn't meaning, I don't know. I thought he was just withdrawing from heroin. I said, do you have syphilis? Do you have AIDS? I said, do you have AIDS? And he says, I think I do. And I just froze.
So, what do you think the bones are from?
I don't know.
Okay.
Without a test, and I don't have the capacity to test that.
Right. When did the bones show up?
Well, I didn't notice the bones until the police were in the yard yesterday.
So when the police came to your yard yesterday, that was the first
But
time?
I mean, I'm not talking about the rabbit bones. I picked most of those up and will dispose of them.
These are the bones that you can't identify what they are. The bones.
Repeat, please.
The bones that you can't identify what they are, what they belong to.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Those are the bones, not the rabbit bones. I'm talking about those bones.
I couldn't find all the rabbit bones because I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. So, but I'm interested in these other bones that aren't the rabbit bones.
By now, the detectives have become immune to anything bad she has to say about Kenneth, and just focusing on the bones that aren't the rabbit bones. She is now going to juggle between two scenarios. A, that bone belongs to a rabbit whose bone she didn't pick, and B, she doesn't know where the bone came from.
Do you think somebody made Adam disappear?
I don't know. I just know that rabbits don't have that many bones.
Okay.
And they can't have a tooth like that. Rabbits have.
How do you think those bones may have gotten there?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I know how my rabbit bones, but those are almost all gone because I cleaned that up over 2 weeks ago. But I dropped, or when you walk into my house, the granite steps. It's just a thing I do. It's a Native American thing. With that particular rabbit, oh, bless his heart, Mr. Brownster. I dropped like 2 or 3 pieces of it behind the granite because I thought, those are rabbit bones. I hope it better be, because I had accidentally, I picked up the bones. I don't just leave them in the yard.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just like chicken bones or anything, which I may eat chicken, but I was discerning what was rabbit, what is not.
So how did you notice though that these other bones weren't rabbit bones when
Daylight today?
Okay.
When I sifted.
Were you out there yesterday?
Well, yes, I came home eventually because, right.
No, but yesterday did you happen to...
I didn't sift, no. Not yesterday.
Were these bones buried or were they on top of the ground?
Well, see, they weren't buried. They're not buried. When you cremate, you just put the animal on the ground.
So, I want to finish that. After you put the animal on the ground, what do you do with cremate?
You have to put a lot of wood on top and hay. But I didn't. That hay was on whatever they showed me yesterday. And he said, "You sure that's a rabbit?" I looked at it and I thought, "Well, my rabbit cremated totally, but did another rabbit? Am I confused?"
So you put the wood and the hay on top of the animal.
I don't always use hay.
Okay,
I'm
so
very limited
you
to
put the wood on top of the animal, and then you light it on fire.
Yes.
Do you use?
Or else I will cremate my rabbits sometimes in my wood burning stove in the kitchen. My rabbits, yes.
Do you use anything else to get the fire going?
Sometimes gasoline.
Gasoline?
Sometimes.
Oh, really? Not kerosene, but gasoline?
Correct.
It's dangerous with gasoline. How much gasoline would you use?
Not much. That wood wouldn't even hardly burn that I put on there for my rabbit because it's not seasoned.
Oh, still green.
Correct.
Did you use gasoline when you did the rabbit?
It's hard to recall that. I'm in shock. from all of this. I don't recall.
Where
I may have.
would you get the gasoline?
Over at the Irving.
I mean, do you have a container?
Yes, sir.
Where's the container?
It's in between my Mercedes and my Cadillac right now.
She just admitted to using gasoline to light up the fires, and then also slipped up about where she got the gasoline cans from. So far, they've raised the possibility that the bone could possibly be from Kenneth. The question now is, how's she going to talk her way out of this?
So, but I'm starting to get confused, Angela. We gotta slow down so I can understand. If you said that he has a potential to hurt himself, okay?
Well, I've seen him hit himself.
Okay. Do you think he'd have the potential to kill himself?
Yes.
All right. If Adam was gonna kill himself,
I think he is suicidal.
how would he do that? How would he kill
I
himself?
don't know. I couldn't possibly say. I don't know.
Did he ever tell you?
He told me that. Let's see, what did he say? Oh, he said something about burning in hell. Will I burn in hell? And I said, I don't know. That's such a master, such a God. I can't tell you that.
If Adam was going to leave your house to kill himself, where would he go?
I have no idea because.
Would he kill himself at your house?
Probably.
Okay.
Because he had a habit of walking up the road and standing there at a tree.
Okay. So if those bones that are at your house that you know aren't your rabbit's bones, is it possible those are Adam's bones?
Well, using the word possible, then one could say it is possible.
The couple bought gasoline from Walmart days before his disappearance. She claims that he might have burned himself right now. So did she know that the burnt bone fragment was of Kenneth? Or did she hate him so much that she was the one who did it? So far, all she's doing is giving the police more probable cause to search inside the residence as well.
Let me ask you this, Sheila. Is it possible that you might not remember something, but that maybe Adam tried to hurt you and you had to defend yourself against him? Did anything like that ever happen?
Well, I smacked him one time like this.
Okay. Why did you do that?
Because he started acting crazy and weird. He just started jumping and jerking around in my rabbit's room before.
And what happened after when you hit him?
Nothing.
What did he do?
He hugged me and cried.
Okay.
And I hugged him back and said, I'm sorry for slapping.
Other than that time slapping him, did you ever physically confront him? Hit him, smack him, punch him?
No.
Strike him with anything?
No. He got injured from a Walmart product that's no longer, I don't see it in the store anymore. It exploded. I had water boiling in it. I don't know what he was doing, but he was over there close to it. And it had a lid on it. And that's been jumped, I think, at the Epping dock. Well, it have to be.
Sheila, do you think Adam might be dead?
I don't know.
Does that concern you?
Well, it concerns me because I don't want him to come back and harm me or my animal.
Did you want him out?
I wanted him to be safe.
But did you
and
want him?
happy? But he didn't want to go around his mother anymore.
But Sheila, you're not answering my question. Did you want him out?
Well, I didn't want to support him anymore, if that's what you mean. I didn't slow him out.
No, but you wanted him out. You wanted him to leave. You didn't want him living there.
I wanted to break up with him, yes.
Okay.
But I wasn't angry.
Did you tell him that?
Yes, and he cried.
When did you tell him that?
Several times.
When was the most recent time?
I don't recall.
Did you tell him on the day he left?
No.
What was the conversation like on the day he left? The last day you saw him?
I was asleep.
I'm not talking about the moment he left.
Mm-hmm.
What was the last conversation you had with him before the last time you saw him? What was your...
The tape.
And
where I tape recorded him and had him admit how he molested those children.
So the last time you talked to him was you taping him admitting that he molested children?
Well, no, we talked after that. I recall. I probably cooked him something to eat.
No, but wasn't he upset? I mean, he just admits to molesting kids.
No.
He wasn't upset.
No.
Were you upset?
Yes, I was crying. I was crying. I said, I'm reporting this. I said, I'm bound by law to report it. I'm reporting it.
So you told him you were going to report it?
Yes.
What did he say to that?
Well, he wasn't happy about that, but he didn't. You know, he said, his eyes got real big, and he said, I'll kill myself. And I said, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. And then I ran and double checked my guns. And I said, you've not loaded or touched my guns, have you? And he said, no. And then I put them up somewhere else. I had him do something, and I put them somewhere else. So then after that, I put them back.
Okay, but the last conversation was him telling you all this stuff on tape about him molesting children, and then you said you had to report it, which
Right,
you do,
right.
and then he said he's going to kill himself. And then you went and checked your guns.
But I was right, because I thought I thought, oh my God, you know, is he going to do that? Because he went for my leopard circular thing where I keep my handgun sometimes. I have lots turned again to him that I don't use because nobody comes down.
Okay, but
so it's just me.
So he says he's going to kill himself. He looks for your gun and your cheetah thing.
No, that's not true. He did not look for my gun. He didn't go anywhere near my gun.
I thought you said he looked in the cheetah thing or something that you keep the gun in something.
No, we played the tape.
Okay.
If you want to.
Well, I'm not saying I don't believe you.
I didn't just say that.
Okay, what did you say?
About what?
Looking for, he didn't look for the guns?
No. He said that he wanted to make his parents sorry. Then he wanted to make everybody sorry.
For what?
No. Well, because his mother molested him repeatedly. They were on a schedule Tuesday and Thursday, he said, every time his stepfather was gone. He went over their bed, and of course, he claims she walks around naked, parading naked in front of the windows, which could be public indecency. If children see it, or it's harassing other people, and I don't do that.
Okay, but let's get back to Adam for a minute. So, you tell him you're going to report it to the police.
And I did.
And he says he's upset with that his parents are going to regret it, his family's going to regret it. Is that correct?
He said he didn't want to ever go back down there.
Okay.
That he'd rather die than go back around there.
But he didn't say they were going to regret it?
He did say that. He said that everybody's going to be sorry or something like that. I don't know who everybody is. Maybe me too.
Okay, so how does that conversation end?
Well, these are questions that are difficult to answer because perhaps it didn't end. Perhaps he went and watched TV and I cooked and, there was no arguing.
There was no arguing?
No.
When you tell him, I got to report this to the police, that you're a pedophile?
No.
And his eyes get big?
They got big, but he told me, he said, it's time that I stopped. And he said, I'm going to make myself stop or something like that.
That sounds unusual to me, Sheila.
Well,
do you know what I mean? Because he's a criminal.
An unusual person.
No, and I understand that, but
he just cried his eyes out.
Yeah.
Even with the polygraph man will tell you that. The polygraph couldn't begin until, of course, I had to leave. But it's legally tape recorded. I have the tape somewhere in my tapes.
By saying that he would quote-unquote make myself stop, she's derailing the detective to consider this as a S-word. Also, did you catch that moment of sternness when she boldly said, repeat the tape? Deep down, over these niceties and being a low-tone sweet talker, she has a strict tone, which we'll take you through after this interrogation. But for now, the detectives inquired further about her farm and discussed what could have happened to Kenneth. And as she continued to play the victim card, the detective brings up something appalling which she said to the chief of police that day.
Did he ask you to kill him? So he wouldn't hurt anymore?
No, but I asked him to kill me one time.
Why?
Because I had a heart attack on the kitchen floor, and he didn't care. He actually just stared at me, and I could just barely see him from my peripheral vision, and he was just looking at me. And then, for some reason, God let me read his mind for a moment. And I know he was thinking, die. If you die, I'm going to rob you. I asked him, when I got myself out of the floor. I said, you were just thinking about robbing me. And he went, that's right.
How come earlier you were asking the chief to end your life? You asked Adam once to end your life, and you've asked the chief earlier today. He told me to end your life. Why were you saying that?
Because I've committed suicide before in the 80s. I was in a brain dead coma and it was beautiful and I didn't want to come back. That's why.
But why today? Why did you want the chief to shoot you today?
Because I just want to be where it's peaceful.
Why isn't it peaceful here now?
I mean, at the farm, they put me in the shop when we drove up, and there were 2 police cars there, and they kicked in my door, and they were standing there in the dark, and one had a bushwhacker thing or something.
But that's not a reason to feel that way, Sheila. Why did you
Well,
want
I didn't
him to end
understand why they were doing it. I didn't understand why they kicked in my door. And I'm just saying that 5 years of legal stress, going through so many lawyers, it has aged me. I used to be a professional model. You should see some of my pictures. That's not to be cutesy, but that's the only proof that could prove to you that I'm right. But the stress of the Irish people, the stress of all of that, they're out for me.
How about the stress of Adam?
Well, he hasn't called me, to my knowledge, but he also told me he wouldn't when he left. And that's Cancer Male. I dated another one.
That's Cancer what?
Cancer Male. He's a Cancer. I'm 4th of July. He's July 18th.
Okay.
And he said his father's a Cancer. They're just like that. They don't.
If I check his horoscope, am I going to be able to find him? Being a Cancer, all.
What do you mean?
You got to find this guy.
Well, I don't know how to help you. I only know how to sift. That's what I was trying to do because I'm trying to help.
Do you think those bones are his?
I don't know. I can't rule that in or out.
You think it's possible that they're his?
I've answered that for this lady before. I said, in the sense, in the context or whatever, I said, possible. Many things are possible. Mm-hmm. It's possible I could accidentally knock that over. I'm not trying to be rude. I apologize.
You're not being rude, Sheila, and I'm very hard to offend anyway.
All right, I'm just telling you that. If he did it, he did it. And he...
Would you have helped him do it?
No.
So it gets done right?
No.
And there's no shame in if somebody wants to kill themselves and helping them do that, Sheila.
No.
There isn't.
No. I told him that I would testify in court against him. And he didn't like that. I said, you're going to get me back, aren't you? He said,
After that, they concluded the interview, but now they have more than enough to execute a search warrant inside the house. So far, you've seen Sheila LaBarre speak in a controlled and monotone style. But later that day, as she finally went back home, she called Sergeant Gallagher again, and, in simple words, she gave him a mouthful.
Is this Sergeant Gallagher? I just talked with the New Hampshire State Police, and I said, and I mentioned you, and not in a negative way. Feel free to call over there and ask to hear the recorded line. Now, what I would like is to inform you that one of my attorneys is going to be sending a letter to the PD, because the state policeman that I just talked to, when I asked him if he had a copy of the NCI, he said, well, no. He said, it wouldn't have appeared to us because we wouldn't know how to drive in your front yard and find it. And then when I talked to Chief Dodge, his snide comment on speakerphone, Mr. Countie heard it, to me was when I said, how did you know to come to my home? He said something to the effect of, we put 2 and 2 together. Now, I'm upset about this. I contacted my lawyer. I want to know how the Epping police felt that they should come in my yard, and Mr. Countie does too. So, how did you know to come in my yard?
So while she's building her ridiculous case, the investigators request for a warrant to search inside the residence. By now, the evidence is not strong enough to put Sheila away, so in the meantime, Sheila flees from Epping. But on March 26th, Sheila's face is all over the news. And as soon as she finds out, she starts taking out large sums of money from her accounts and starts living off the grid. She was living with some local pet store owners who were kind enough to give her a place to stay. That is, until they realized who she was and called the police. On the 27th of March, Sheila was apprehended, and the search warrant allowed the investigators to tear apart the LaBarre residence. From the search inside the house, they found strokes of dried blood covering some of the farmhouse walls, and a bloody knife that looked like it was dipped in maroon paint that matched Kenneth's DNA. They found other burn piles on the estate that contained clothing remnants, and burned-out mattresses with fatty bits still clinging to the wireframe and box springs. The highlight of this search, however, was them finding a Walmart bag with fine debris that included bones. Amongst the mess was Sheila's notebook. Her journal had bizarre entries that made investigators wonder if they were related to Kenneth's murder. One page, dated July 2005, had a drawing of a human body with the words 110 pounds, 5 foot 4 inches. And the list of words that followed included incinerated, burned, ashes, bury, and death in all caps. Based on the bone fragments collected from the crime scene and the blood spatter on the wall, there is conclusive proof that Sheila LaBarre killed Kenneth Countie. Now, the interrogation you're about to see is purely based on proof that she killed Kenneth Countie. And even though she ends up denying everything, it is so satisfying to see her getting brutally yelled at. This time, there's no deceit, no manipulation. It's just a raw and loud interrogation of Sheila LaBarre. When Officer Wallace, who was part of the search team, recovered the Walmart bag, he asked Sheila about it. To which she subtly said, and I'm quoting, "Kenny is in the bag." This one slip-up not only incriminates her, but is also now the subject of this entire interrogation.
You said that.
No,
You said that.
no.
Why did you tell me that?
Show me the tape. All right, let me hear the tape that says that. I wouldn't say that.
You
because I
said you
didn't know
trusted me,
that.
correct? You trusted me?
Correct.
Okay.
But I did
I'm-
not say that.
And I would not tell you something you had not said if you had not said it.
No, I disagree. I disagree, sir.
You said, maybe he's in that bag, or he's in that bag. Words to that effect. Do you remember that at all?
No.
You remember no reference at all to Adam and a bag? No reference.
No. I told you I'd been sifting and had things in a bag.
That is not what you said. I listened to the tape.
But wait a minute, I can't remember
Mike Wallace,
every single. Can you remember?
The
everything
Officer
you said?
Wallace asked you,
Don't do that.
Officer Wallace asked you where he was, and you said he's in that bag.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
Show me the tape.
Why do I have to, am I lying to you? There's one, I am not lying to
I
you.
did not
I am in here telling
say that.
you the
I
truth.
did not say that.
The chief is in here telling you the
And
truth.
I'm telling you, I did not say that. Perhaps I've been misunderstood. Let me hear the tape. I didn't say that.
Okay, Sheila, I want you to listen closely.
I'm listening. Can you turn it down?
I'm just here because when something happens, we don't want to. We're going to record this, okay? It's for your safety, just so that there's no inaccuracy. That's all. So I'm just going to put that down here. And all the chief and I just want to do is figure out and make heads and tails of this whole thing and figure out, where Kenny is. The bottom line is, the chief and I both know, and you want to know where he is. That's all. He is in the bag?
No, wait.
Sheila, I have listened to this time and over and over.
Figure out and make heads and tails of this whole thing and figure out, where Kenny is. The bottom line is, the chief and I both know, and you want to know where he is. That's all. He is in the bag?
Listen to that again.
Let me hear the whole thing. Let me hear the whole
Make
thing.
heads and tails of this whole thing and figure out, where Kenny is. The bottom line is, the chief and I both know, and you want to know where he is. That's all. He is in the bag?
Don't stop. You keep
I guess it was human.
Let me hear the whole thing.
You sure you think he's in that bag?
Did you hear what I said? I don't know that that's
You know what I heard? He's in that bag. You just identified the wrong guy.
But that doesn't mean that I know that he is.
You said it.
It's daylight.
Okay.
Looking. Yes.
Okay. All right, that's
No.
fine.
If you hear that conversation,
I have, Sheila.
well, I didn't do anything to him.
Would you like to listen to that again, Sheila?
I walked home and you
Sure,
wanna
play
know
it
where
again.
he is.
Doesn't matter. Play it again.
He's in that bag.
Wait a minute.
Let's back it up, Sheila.
Hey,
Sheila, he doesn't need your help. He doesn't
I'm just gonna put that down here. And all the chief and I just wanna do is figure out and make heads and tails of this whole thing and then figure out, you know, where Kenneth is. The bottom line is, and the chief and I both know, and you wanna know where he is. That's all. He is in the bag? Okay.
Guess it was in
I don't know
there.
what to tell you.
No.
Yes.
That is not a confession of anything.
I didn't say it was a confession. He
It's
asked you a
not
question,
confession.
and what did you say? He's in that bag.
No.
He's in that bag.
Not in the context.
Oh, no?
You think that I knew
Oh, yeah?
I knew
Is
that.
that right?
No. I just went on to say,
Yeah.
you have to play that whole tape in court if you put me in court. You know that. You can't play just part of it. You have to play the whole
Sheila,
thing.
I could. That's definitely what would happen if that ever got to that point. I'm just not going to sit here with you and play a tape for, 15, 20
No,
minutes.
sorry.
I played the part that you wanted to listen to,
I
didn't I?
understand,
And
sir.
what did you
I
say?
understand, sir.
What did you say?
But I made the comment.
He asked you where Kenny was, and what did you say?
Well,
You listened to that. What did you say?
she does it. You have to scream at me.
I'm asking you a question. Answer my question. Where's Kenny? What did you say?
I made 3 comments back to back.
What did you say? He's in that bag. He's in that bag.
Then I said, I don't know
Oh, yeah.
if that's him.
It could
I
be
don't
you.
know.
You mentioned it being human bones, Sheila. Come on.
No. I have a background in radiology. Just a minute.
Wonderful, Sheila. Okay, so are you telling me then you picked up the human bones from the burn pit on purpose to put them in the bag for the chief? Is that what you did? With your background in radiology, you went in there to pick out the human bones, and you left the. I guess you left the rabbit bones.
No, I didn't.
No. Well,
No.
can I ask you a question then?
What?
What do you think was found in that plastic bag?
You have already told me.
What do you think was found exactly?
I don't know.
And what did you tell Officer Wallace? Where's Kenny? He's in that bag. That's what you said. There is no way around it. You killed this kid.
I did
You
not
killed this
kill
kid,
him.
and you
That's
destroyed evidence by
No,
burning the
no,
bed.
no.
You destroyed evidence by burning his body in the pit.
No, I did not burn him.
Who did?
I don't know.
Well, you don't know who burned him then.
No. I didn't know that was him. If you're confirming it, then
I
no,
asked
no.
you who burned Kenny, and you said, I don't know who burned Kenny.
Don't.
That's what you said.
I don't know that he's been burned.
Well, you knew it was in the bag.
You knew it was in the bag?
No, I did not
That is
know.
what you said.
No.
Those are your words.
You said we were lying. I played you the recording. And what did you say, Sheila? Explain that to me, please. Explain it to me. He's in the bag.
And then I made
In
other
that
comments,
bag.
And then I said, I don't know. I don't know. That's the truth.
Sheila,
What?
it is not the truth.
It is the truth.
It is absolute. You can bang your fist, bang your hand, all you want. You know, I know,
No,
it is not the truth.
No.
You're lying to me.
I'm
You
not.
killed this kid, and you burned his body in the pit. Now, I want to know why.
I
Was
did
that
not
Kenny you
kill
burned in that pit?
anybody.
Or was it Adam you burned in the pit? Which one?
I didn't burn
Was it Kenny or Adam?
anybody.
Kenny or
in
Adam?
the pit.
Kenny, did you kill
Neither.
Kenny or
No,
Adam?
sir.
Why did you kill him?
I didn't kill anyone.
Why? Did he want to leave you? Did you kill him because he
No.
wanted to leave you? A young man leaving an older woman? And maybe, did you feel a little slighted maybe?
Sir, he wanted to stay with me and marry me.
Oh, he did. Is that why you killed him?
I did
You
not.
killed him because he wanted to marry you?
I did not kill him or anyone.
Then who did you kill? Kenny or Adam?
Anyone.
Then how can you explain telling Officer Wallace that Kenny is in that bag? he's in that bag. How can you explain that?
Because he had threatened to set himself on fire. Just a minute.
Oh, so he did this to himself then, right?
I don't know that.
He did this to
I
himself,
don't
and you
know.
might have went out there and helped it out a little bit, right?
No.
No?
No.
No, throw the bed on top of the flame too, on top of the fire. Destroy the bed. Why did you burn that bed?
I've answered that question.
No, you didn't answer it because you lied to me. I want the truth. Why did you burn that bed?
Because I didn't want to.
Because there was blood on the bed. That's why you burned that bed.
No.
You was destroying evidence.
No.
Just like Adam or Kenny. You destroyed Adam or Kenny. Why? Because he's evidence. And how did you do that?
No.
You put that guy in the burn pit.
No, I didn't.
You're a liar.
I'm not a liar. I did not, sir. And I called Chief Dodge to tell him I was burning the bed because I had slept on it or whatever I said with a pedophile or whatever.
How do you know he was a pedophile?
Because he made a sworn, legally
recorded
tape to me.
Yeah. I heard that tape.
So, I mean, what do you mean, sir?
I heard the tape. It's a joke. It's a joke. You killed that kid. You put him in the pit.
No, I did not.
You're a liar.
I'm not a liar.
Absolute liar.
First of all.
You're a religious person?
Yes, I am.
Okay, well, you know what you're
It's a goat.
Say what? Yeah, well, he's 24 years old as a kid to me. 25. You killed that kid. 24, 25, 26. You killed him.
I did not.
You put him in the pit.
This is the first time that I found out that he's dead.
That's a lie, and you know it. You know why? Because when Officer Wallace went over to the house and he asked you, where is Kenny? You said, he's in that bag. You're a liar.
I'm not a liar. I'm not a liar. And if that's going to be played for anyone, the whole thing has to be played.
You better believe it's going to be played because you've only heard a little piece of it. You heard the portion that I wanted you to hear. That's a lengthy, lengthy tape.
I did not.
And you better believe if that thing's played, the whole thing is going to be played.
I hear you. Believe me, I hear you. Everyone hears you.
You think you're going to convince me that you didn't kill that kid?
I'm not trying to convince you of anything.
Well, you're lying to me.
No, I'm not.
Absolutely lying to me.
No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm not.
How do you think this looks for you right now? How do you think the whole thing looks?
Well, based on the racism and...
Forget that. Yeah, that's got nothing to do with it.
Give me a break. It's a saying. Give me a break, okay? Racism. Give me a break.
So, and Chief Dodge, is he dead?
You know he's dead. What are you asking us for? You killed him.
I didn't.
You burned him.
Kill him. No.
You incinerated him.
I did not.
You're asking us?
I did
Give
not.
me a break.
I did not.
Of course you did.
No, I didn't.
Are you a split personality then?
No.
No?
What happened to him? Why did you think he was in the bag?
No.
Why did you sift those remains? Why were you picking things out of that pile? Why do you care? If you're burning something to destroy them, why do you care?
If he had
You
done
didn't
that
care.
or somebody had done that
You
to him.
didn't care.
I did
You
care,
didn't
and I
care.
care now.
Sheila, you could not have cared.
If you cared about that kid right now, then you would tell me the truth.
Will you please stop
You
crying?
would tell me the truth.
He's a man.
Did
Yeah,
you
he
care
was
about
a man.
him?
You know why? Because you
Why
killed
did you
him.
care
He's
about
dead.
I love him still.
Then why didn't you call his mom to see if he had made it back home if you're so concerned about
His
it?
mom, I
His
didn't have
mother,
her number.
or his father, anybody. You knew his family. You knew how to get a hold of them. You left messages with them for crying out loud.
I did not ever leave a message with
You
his
never
family.
called any part of his family ever?
No.
Never?
Sir, never.
Sheila, that is
Never.
a lie. You
It's another
called
lie.
the family.
No, excuse me.
I've heard the tape, Sheila. You called the family.
What are you talking about?
You called the stepfather. You called at least twice. At least twice. You left messages with him.
What are you talking about? What messages?
Did you not ever call the stepfather? Ever?
Sir, no. He called us.
Did you call the stepfather and leave a voicemail? Did you leave a...
Oh, wait.
Oh,
Stepfather, excuse me.
whoa.
No, you got me confused. Stepfather's different than his father. You're talking about that man from England. I called him a phone message at
How many?
the insurance. One.
How many?
One.
Wrong.
At the insurance. fund.
Wrong.
Well,
We have the tape, Sheila.
well, if I did,
We're gonna sit here and play tapes all night for you, Sheila?
No, sir, but he
Sheila,
wanted me to do that. Adam wanted me to call, make those calls, whatever I did.
You just say you never called. Now you called.
But I got confused. I thought you meant
You're confused. Sheila, I'm confused. You're all over the place. You're lying.
No.
We cut you in many, many lies. You
No.
called us liars because you said you never said that. I played it to you. You did say it. And there's a lot more. There's a lot more.
Taken out of context.
Oh, yeah, right.
That is what you said.
Where's Kenny? Where's Kenny? He's in that bag.
And then you go on to say human remains, and you further say the Walmart bag. The same bag you were sifting for me. You put his remains in that bag. I don't think they were for me, but you put them in that bag, didn't you?
Chief Dodge.
Why would I want those?
Chief Dodge. Why would I keep those if I had done that? Why would I not get rid of that if I'd done that?
How do we know
That
that's
was
what you were trying to do? Huh?
No.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
You
no.
probably didn't expect 6 cruises pulling you out that morning either.
Of course I did.
You were surprised by our
No, I
appearing
wasn't.
there.
No,
Yes, you were.
No, I was
Yes,
not.
you were. If you ran in the house, you locked the door. If you knew we were coming, you would have stood there in the yard and waited for us.
No.
Saying, you know what? I knew
No.
you'd be here.
No.
You locked yourself in the house.
No,
You
I
locked
didn't.
yourself in the house.
No, I didn't. I ran
Yes,
it.
you
I
did.
ran it and I peed.
And you did not.
Yeah,
You did
no,
not.
Of course I did.
Because I went right to the door and you were at it.
I ran in there real quick and I peed.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Sheila never confessed or cracked under pressure, but with this information, she was booked for first-degree murder. Although Sheila was only charged with Kenneth's murder, investigators still suspected there might be others. When they went up to the bathroom of her residence and tried flushing it, they found something clogging the pipe. Thinking that it could be narcotics, the investigators ripped apart the septic tank and found a birth certificate. The birth certificate was not of Kenneth, nor Bill, nor any of the men she married or lived with. The name was Michael DeLoge. On top of that, the blood spatter on the walls wasn't just of Ken, it was also of Michael DeLoge. 35-year-old Michael DeLoge from Connecticut was a peculiar character, unlike the men that Sheila has been with before. He considered himself, quote, a lost soul, an aspiring songwriter and poet who unfortunately ended up being a drug addict. While his family supported him as much as they could, he ended up living homeless in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. In 2003, he met Sheila at his homeless shelter as she would go there to find workers for the farm. And that's where Michael caught her eye. Sheila and Michael's relationship began almost immediately after he got the job. Michael eventually threw away everything he had and every family member who cared about him. And just like that, Michael would basically become a slave.
That was 2004. This tape was from my mother. Mom, I got some things to clear up. Who the hell is Tony? I could not believe when we came there to visit, you just blurted out. You remember Tony, don't you? Who the hell is this Tony? And if there is a Tony, why the hell did you let him bother me, touch me, molest me? And where did this happen? And who was around? Why didn't anything happen? I cannot believe you did that. I cannot believe you let that happen. I've been messed up since that visit, thinking about this. And now I got all this repressed hatred. And I starting to remember things about the past. And you really messed me up.
This was the only videotape logged into evidence which demonstrated how much she overpowered him. He not only accuses his mother, but he also talks about how Sheila is his savior.
I had an awful childhood, and it's affected me to this day. You psychologically damaged me in more ways than I can even imagine. And if it wasn't for Sheila, I wouldn't know half the things I know. And if it wasn't for her ex, Bill, saying if all problems look to the mother, I wouldn't be knowing what I know now. And now that I know what I know, I don't want to visit you. I don't want to go up there and see you. Because every time we do go visit, you cause some kind of problem between me and Sheila. I know you have a hatred towards her, and I know you have a hatred towards me. And I cannot stand it. I don't want to be like this anymore. I want to progress in my life. I want to learn how to drive and be a responsible adult. And I can't, because of the things that you did to me as a child that tormented me.
The search of her house led them to Kenneth, but the deep search of her septic tank, which needed to be manually dug and pumped out, led them to Michael's birth certificate and his bones. In addition to that, investigators also found a letter that had been notarized by Sheila and supposedly written by Michael that admitted he was a P-word. He wrote, quote, "There is no hope for me. I'm a lost cause. I've even tortured this kind lady's baby rabbits." Now, Sheila was set to face trial for not one, but 2 counts of premeditated murder. The trial was scheduled to begin in March of 2008. But in February, Sheila's legal team made a bombshell announcement. She essentially admitted that she had murdered Kenneth County and Michael DeLoge, but she claimed that she was, quote-unquote, not guilty by reason of insanity. After more than 40 witnesses and 5 weeks of testimony, the jury took 2 days and 13 hours to declare a guilty verdict. The judge sentenced Sheila LaBarre to life in prison without the possibility of parole. In the end, we can't say for sure the extent of her crimes. From the crime scene, they recovered toes that belonged neither to Kenneth nor DeLoge. The victim was never identified. And while the toes were never brought up during the trial, it compels us to wonder how many more poor men fell for Sheila's manipulative and deceitful ways. Let's continue the conversation on these things in the comments down below. If you're interested in trying Scentbird, use my code, VILLAINS, or the link below to get 55% off at Scentbird. You can get the product for half of the price. That's just $8. That's a steal. Oh, and if you think this case was horrific, well, be sure to check out my video on the Psycho BDSM Cannibal.